Hey everyone, this is Jack. This is going to be a bar by bar review for Friday, April 10th, 2026 for the S&P 500 futures contract. And I'll start with the daily chart. We had a strong bold trend, and then we've been going sideways for months. And we're starting to get a bear breakout, a bear trend, a series of lower lows, lower highs. We're below the moving average. We're even below the 221 period moving average. And below every low that we get, we find buyers and we're bouncing. So we have overlap of all the breakout points. We're below a couple of major breakout points, or I'm sorry, major swing points, major higher lows. And now, for the last week or so, we've been starting to rally. We had a couple of exhaustion bars here, strong climactic bars, late in a bear trend, likely to lead to at least a couple of legs up. We started to stall for a double top bear flag at the moving average, and we have a failed low 2, low 1, low 2, and we have 5 consecutive bull bars, and the last bar being a particularly strong buy signal bar. And then we had this week a big gap up on some news. We tested support and closed above the midpoint with a bear bar. It's a pullback bar, and then we started to rally, and now we're pulling back again today. But coming into the day, this is all we see. So what do you expect? Well, we have a huge gap up and a bear bar. That means that we're probably likely to pull back further. But the gap is so big, it's also likely to get some follow through. So, yesterday, Thursday, we produced a strong bull bar, and we have a tail above and below the bar. We're also at a couple of swing points on the daily chart. We have a swing point here on a line chart. We have a swing point here on this chart. And we have another swing point here on a line chart right there. So we're at some resistance levels. We're near a big round number, 6,900, 7,000 is up here. Probably we're always in long. Probably we're going to pull back, but probably we're going to bull channel up to the all-time high or back up into this trading range up here. Because we went sideways for so long up here, it's going to take a lot of bars and a lot of strength to escape that magnetic pull. So the market is getting pulled back up into this area. So what do you expect for today? Well, probably we're going to try to get some follow through and go higher. That could look like a gap up, or it could look like a gap down and then a bull trend bar on the daily chart. If we gap up, we will probably pull back to test support and try to rally. And if the bears are strong enough, we might gap up and then have a bear trend day or a bear trending trading range day. At least an attempt. Like this bar here was an attempt at a bear trend and it failed. Then if we gap down, probably we find buyers below this bar and buyers below the other day's low. So if we get down there, probably we find buyers and bounce. Honestly, I'm betting on a trading range because we have such climactic behavior. We have hesitation here and then good follow through, but a tail makes me think that we're going to form some sort of trading range day. So that's kind of my expectations going into the day, and that's what the chart looked like. On the Globex chart, this is what we saw for the Globex session. We kind of went sideways and we formed a triangle right here, and then we started to rally. But there's problems with the rally. There's a lot of overlap here, tails above the bars, and a lack of consecutive strong bull bars in this rally. And this bar in particular was a big climax that reversed down. And that's not very good. If you're a bull, you're pretty disappointed with that. So if we start to rally back up here again, probably we're going to find sellers up here, and we're probably going to need to test down to these higher lows from this rally, maybe all the way down to support down here. 5-minute chart. I guess I can talk about yesterday real quick because that's also important in thinking about the opening range today. So yesterday we had a triangle, we tested support, and then we rallied for a couple of hours. Consecutive parabolic wedges up, a wedge bull flag, and it turned out to be a spike and channel bull trend that led to a trading range for the last half of the day. Because we had such a strong climactic bull trend and we have a trading range here, it's likely we'll find sellers above the high and test back down into this range. And because we had a strong climactic bull trend, it's likely the bears are going to try to attempt to reverse that, and will test down probably to support down here, or at least try to. But I expect this trading range behavior to carry into today, and I expect sellers above, buyers below, probably will test up and probably will test down. So we have bar 1. It's a bear bar. We have a 19% gap up. That just means that the gap up is about 19% of an average day's range. So my expectations are trend, trading range, trending trading range day. Anything could happen based on this size gap to me. Based on the bar, we've rallied and sold off. It's essentially a trading range bar. You know, the tail represents a reversal and an overlap, and we're breaking out below the open. And we have a decent close, small tail on the bottom of 1. So I imagine we go lower, and I imagine we're probably always in short. We're breaking out of this bull channel, reversing down. I think it's likely that we're going to go lower, but we may pull back on our way down. As with any day, probably better to wait for 6 bars or so before you do anything and let the market kind of show its hand to you. But right now, probably always in short, probably going lower, maybe down to yesterday's close, maybe all the way down to here. 2, follow through, but tail, good, but a problem for the bears. Why do we have tails like this? And that's because that we're probably in a trading range, or probably starting to form a trading range. 3, pulling back, probably sellers above, and a weak reversal signal. But, you know, reasonable buy, but you got to use a wide stop. I would not be buying that. Probably we're going to go lower. A lot of overlap with 4, but still probably always in short, probably going lower. Near the moving average, so we might start to bounce soon. 4 consecutive bars down, always in short. Probably needs a second leg down, even if we do pull back. Pretty good reversal bar. You could argue micro double bottom at the moving average. But I don't know, 5 consecutive lower highs. Probably the first reversal up will be sold, or we'll find sellers somewhere in the sell zone of this leg. Inside bar, well, no, it's not. We found sellers about 5 and pulled back. But we have a weak close, so probably we'll find buyers below and try to test up, maybe even buyers at the close and above. But I think if we do go above, we'll probably find sellers before we get too far. Now we have a micro wedge bottom, 7, tails below the bars, some buying pressure. Reasonable to think about buying here, but again, we have a lot of bars down, and we haven't really had any breakouts to the upside yet, so we don't know how strong the sellers are. So far, the sellers are pushing the market lower and preventing the bulls from producing consecutive strong bars. We have consecutive bear bars here, a lot of overlap. That's trading range behavior. So probably whatever reversal up we get needs to be quite strong in order to make me want to buy, and probably it will be sold. 8, sellers above 7, but weak. And another trading range bar, some more sideways, probably buyers below and sellers above. And then buyers below 8, outside up, strong close, big bar, bit of a surprise. Probably strong enough for a second leg, but remember what I was talking about. This is really the first break of this micro trend line. So probably we're going to find sellers here and pull back. So it might be more of a sell the close than buy the close bar. Tail below the bar indicates that we initially sold off. So that's not very good. If you think about it, if you sold the close of every single bar today so far, you made money. So what do you think is going to happen here on bar 9? Probably sell the close. But now we might be always in long. We're holding above the moving average. We're in a bull channel. We had a bull breakout of the bull channel here. And now we're testing the bull trend line and finding buyers. So probably we're trying to hold always in long, but I imagine still probably sellers somewhere up here. A lot of overlap, tails, that's trading range behavior. So probably better to wait for the pullback and then start thinking about buying. 10, good follow through, but small. Why is it small? That's because we're in a trading range and we're getting close to the top. So we're finding sellers, but still probably going a little bit higher. Might pull back here. So far, a little bit more buying pressure than selling pressure. This bull bar is bigger than these bear bars. The body is bigger and stronger. The close has more conviction than these closes. So probably we're going higher, but we could probably test down to here at any point. The bulls need to do more. Good follow through, 3 consecutive bars up, but tails below the bars, those are pullbacks on a smaller time frame. So you can think of it as a spike and channel or parabolic wedge up. Either way, after a couple more bars, if we don't get surprisingly strong bars or consecutive strong bodies here, we're probably going to find sellers up here and need to test down into the body of 9. 12, close of the hour. Good bars, small bodies. We're channeling higher, obviously, but at some point I think this is going to fail and we're going to pull back. We might be here. We have an overshoot of the micro channel line from 9 to 12. We have a double top of 1, and we have a reasonable sell signal bar. So far, we have a trading range open. We have a move down, followed by a move up. And we have a sell signal bar after an implied 3 or 4-legged move. So you will find sellers here. How far will it get before the buyers step in? Nobody knows. That's why you have to be careful on the open, because you're not sure just yet how strong the bulls and the bears are really going to be. It's still early in the day, even though it's been an hour so far. It's still very early in the day. So probably sellers here, but probably disappointing follow through. Might hesitate, but I imagine we're going to go lower. 14, hesitation. Still probably the same. We're probably going to go lower. And then a bit of a surprise, 15, testing down into the buy zone of 9. You got to watch out for that. So strong bears, but not much conviction. We have a close around the midpoint of the bar. Probably we go a little bit lower, but probably disappointing follow through and pull back. Probably need to test up to the 12 close. Tried to get there, but failed. 16 inside bar. Not a very strong close. We're also hovering around the Globex range midpoint here, and we're trying to find support. We're failing above yesterday's high, hovering around the midpoint of the range. We have the close here, the Globex low here, the Globex high here. We have a small range on the day so far. It's about a quarter average day's range, so probably we'll get a breakout, measure move up, or a breakout, measure move down. So far, the market looks fairly balanced. A little bit better for the bears at the moment than the bulls, but this needs a second leg unless we get more strength here, and it looks like we might. So 16, trying to flip to short, but the bears need to do more. Inside bar and a bull body, not an ideal sell signal. Probably sellers somewhere here, but probably buyers not far below, and probably sellers somewhere above. We're in a tight trading range now. Outside up, but right near the top of the range and a tail above the bar. We probably go higher, but we probably also pull back. We have a lot of overlap here, here, and here. So odds are we'll pull back and create more overlap. Inside bar with a decent close. Might go a little bit lower, but not very good context. Reasonable for a quick scalp, but I'd be very quick to get out if I were taking that short. And I probably wouldn't, because it looks like we might be always in long, and the bears need to do more. Outside up 20, but tail again. And now we have 2 or 3 implied legs up from the 15 low. And we're right near a place where we might try to double top. So probably sellers above. We had a double top here and it worked. We have a double top here with the high close 12, but a bad sell signal. So we probably need to go more sideways before we test down. But I'd be very worried that we're going to try to double top here, so I'd be careful buying. Small bar, tail, but follow through, good. Maybe a little bit higher, but still running the risk of a double top. And then another signal like 13, not very strong. It's a doji bar, probably buyers below and hesitation, disappointing follow through. It's not a strong sell signal. We didn't quite make it to the double top, but this might be all, the bears get, and we might just collapse. So I would be waiting to see how the breakout bar behaves. We didn't trigger the sell, and instead we rallied. Now we have a very clear 3-legged move up from the tight trading range, 1, 2, and 3. The pause bars being 19 and 22. And now we have a better looking double top and actually a wedge top with 1, 13, and 23. So probably we'll find hesitation here. Let's see what it looks like. Sellers at the close, 24, the close of the second hour of the day, and it's a strong sell signal. Probably we're going to go a little bit lower. We might have to pull back and hesitate because there's a pretty good amount of buying pressure in this rally. But it is the third leg up since the trading range here ended yesterday. So 1, 2, 3. And we're really failing above these highs, finding a lot of sellers. I mean, if you think about the daily chart, we had sellers at these highs all the way down, and now we're back at those price levels. We're probably going to find a lot of sellers at those highs even still. And, you know, it's up to the market sentiment if the bulls or the bears are going to be stronger. So it makes sense that we're finding sellers at these highs. You know, we're probably going to need to test back down into here at some point. So strong signal, small tail at the bottom of the bar, but that's okay. We have a shaved top, and that represents urgency and conviction. You know, everybody and their mom sold the close of 23. So probably going lower. Second leg down and tail. We might try to bounce. We got the low close on 16, possibly a double bottom bull flag, but not very good context, and the channel down is getting exceptionally tight. So this is a breakout. We'll probably need to pull back, but I imagine we probably go lower. So parabolic wedge down, double bottom 15, small tail, but really tight channel, pretty good looking breakout. Whatever pullback we get needs to be exceptionally strong, like 9 or 18 or 20, to convince traders that the breakout is going to fail. And we're right at support, 15 low. We'll probably go lower. Let's see the follow through. All right, we're trying to reverse up, but that's a pretty weak buy signal. It might just be a pullback in this strong bear trend, so we'll probably find sellers somewhere above it. 28, a low one at the bottom of a trading range. Typically, buyers below, but the context here, you know, look at the last 5 bars and then look at what we've done in the opening range. There's something changing about the character of the market here. It's a parabolic wedge to the bottom of the range, and we have a failed high 1, a failed double bottom, and now a strong sell signal bar with conviction. You know, these tails on the bottom of these 2 bars are pretty small, and that's pretty good. You know, that represents conviction by the sellers. So we're probably going to go lower. We might find buyers below 7, below the low of the day, but it looks like we're being pulled down to this magnet. You know, the close of yesterday, the Globex low, and the low of the trading range from yesterday. We have a very strong breakout, pretty uniform bars. You could say the bodies are getting a little smaller here, but I expect us to go a little bit lower. Late strength and a sell-off, second leg down, implied 2-legged move. New low of the day. We'll probably hesitate here and pull back, but it looks like so far the market is always in short on the day. So far, this sell-off is the strongest feature of the day, the dominant feature of the day. Before, it was probably this rally or this rally. You know, 15 is a warning that the bulls aren't as strong as they could be. And now I think that this is the dominant feature of the day. And probably we're always in short. Probably we're going to go lower. We might get a measured move down. That would take us below the Globex low, below the trading range low. A couple of magnets. So I imagine we go lower, but we might hesitate here. And then we have a bear breakout of a bear channel with a big tail, so we'll probably pull back here, but still always in short. Micro double bottom 80, so we might pull back here. Inside bar, weak buy signal, probably sellers not far above. First pullback after this new breakout, likely to hesitate and go sideways. Bear inside bar with a tail below, probably the second leg up for the bulls, but will they come in below 34 or below 33 or below 32? Not sure. So far, the bears are quite strong and a lot stronger than the bulls, in my opinion. So probably going sideways to down from here. Pulling back for a second leg up near the high close, 33. Probably sellers above. Strong close, but overlap. Probably going sideways to down. Channeling lower. Testing low close on 31. Double bottom at the bottom of a trading range on a trading range day. We might be in a trending trading range bear trend. So far, we're getting some sideways movement, some buying pressure, but the bears are not letting the bulls get consecutive strong bars. You can see that 33 was actually a sell signal. We did not go above it. So that represents strength, and that represents a lack of conviction by the bulls. So we're probably going sideways to down. And the new low of the day, strong close. You could say a small parabolic wedge down, double bottom 31, but bad context, probably going sideways to down. And then another bar down, climactic behavior, likely to pull back soon. Bar 40, middle of the day, strong buy signal bar, decent context, 3 legs down, a parabolic complex third leg down with a strong buy signal at support, the trading range low, a swing point on the daily chart, the Globex low, and it's the middle of the day when you would expect a reversal attempt by the opposite side of the market. So this is a reasonable buy, but we're probably going to find sellers above because the context isn't that good. The channel down is very tight. It is parabolic, so it's likely to lead to a couple of legs up, maybe to the moving average. But how we get there, we probably don't just go straight up. We probably pull back and then go higher. So follow through, testing the close of the prior day from the downside, probably sellers up here. Bear inside bar, not good for the bulls, probably sellers above. Strong bear bar, but a bit of a climax, so probably buyers below 39 and 40. Reversal up, double bottom, and decent buy signal bar, but tail. That's a warning that there's probably sellers not far above. Channeling higher, micro double bottom now, and a bigger body, stronger close. We'll probably test up to the 41 close. Pulling back, but bad sell, so probably buyers below. Channeling lower, another micro double bottom. You could say a triangle, so probably buyers below, sellers above. And then an outside bar. We're starting to build a tight trading range. Strong sell signal. We'll probably go a little bit lower, but we're starting to get a lot of overlap here, so I imagine buyers below 39. Decent reversal up, but tails above and below the bar, so probably sellers above. Good bull bar, but the problem is the overlap and the lack of follow-through after breakout bars. You could say 40 broke out, but barely. The real breakout bar was here, and it led to a new low of the day. So probably if we break out here, we'll probably find sellers above for a test down. Looks like a parabolic wedge pullback, micro double top 46. We might test up to the 41 close, probably sellers up here, right at the moving average as well. 4 consecutive bars up, now a smaller bar with a smaller body. Probably going sideways to down, and then a surprise climactic bull bar here, small, but double top with 41, so I'd be careful, and I'd probably be looking to, probably be thinking about selling now. It's a complex 3 or 4 legged move up on a smaller time frame. Bear inside bar, but weak, probably buyers not far below. And then surprisingly strong breakout bar, so probably getting a second leg down, but might have poor follow through. Trying to bounce and hold the Globex low, but I imagine we get a second leg down. Reversal up, tail, might test up to the 53 close before we get the second leg down. Strong body, strong bar, not much overlap, but double top with 41, 53, so probably sellers not far above. Second leg up from the rally on 49. Not a very strong sell signal, but reasonable for a test down to the 56 low. Not ideal. Double top 41 and resistance the close of yesterday. And trading range. We've got a flat moving average, a lot of overlap down here. If we go higher, probably we need, surprisingly strong bars, consecutive bars like this to convince me that we're always in long. But until we get that, above the moving average, probably we're going to maintain this trading range and test back down to the 56 low. Small bear bar, pulling back, probably sideways to down, more sideways to down. A lot of overlap, so problems, but still probably testing near the 56 low. Parabolic wedge pullback, double bottom bull flag, 56 from the rally on 49. But a bad sell. A bad buy. None of these are bull bars. They're closing around the midpoints, some of them, but that's not a strong buy signal, so I would not be buying here, especially after 64. Trying to reverse up, but weak, probably sellers above. Good bull bar, shaved top, strong close, strong body, but the problem is the overlaps, so probably sellers somewhere above. We channeled higher, so another micro parabolic wedge pullback, and we'll probably find sellers somewhere up here for a test down. Surprise bull breakout, but again, double top 58, 53, 41, probably sellers not far above. Weak sell signal, but I imagine we have to test down, and then surprise bull bar 69, breaking out above the trading range, testing 33, double top bear flag. I imagine we hesitate and go sideways to down from here. I just don't think the bulls are strong enough. Why are there tails above and below the bars. Why are the bars small, not uniform? You know, they are getting stronger, and that represents strength. But the bears are also, you know, the bears are also strong. So I just do not trust a parabolic rally breaking out above a trading range in an area where we might double top when the leg is complex and we've had a trading range for hours. So probably going sideways to down. Strong enough sell signal. Tested the high close. Probably going down to the 63 low. Hesitating 72. Reversal up, but a weak buy, so probably sellers not far above. 73, a lot of overlap, but pretty strong bar. Probably gets the second leg down. And then 74, looks like the bulls gave up. We're testing near the 63, 56 lows and low closes. Probably going a little bit lower. And then doji bar, probably sellers above, and probably more sideways here. 76 bear bar, but not much conviction down here. We're starting to find buyers, so we might start to bounce. Bull bar, but really weak, probably more sideways. And then surprise bull bar, but forcing you to buy at the top of a tight trading range. Might pull back, but probably going a little bit higher. Pretty strong pullback, but, you know, might just go sideways here. And then that's pretty much what we did. So interesting day overall. I think the day was basically an upper trading range and a lower trading range. You could call it a bear trending trading range, but it, not really. Mostly it's a trading range. They got a fast breakout that led to another trading range. So probably upper trading range, lower trading range, call it a trading range day. On the daily chart, it's a bear bar, but it's a small, weak bear bar. So probably we'll find buyers below. Uh-oh. Looks like my computer froze, my mouse froze. I think my mouse might have just died. Well, anyway, probably we find buyers somewhere below, and we have to test back up higher. But this might be a two-legged move up that needs a couple of legs down to form, a trading range at support, these swing points here. And then maybe we'll find more buyers. But I imagine the market's always in long, probably going higher. We probably need to pull back, but I still imagine probably going higher overall. So yeah, that's the review, and thanks for watching.